Hey guys, so they just announced that Sofia Coppola is in talks to direct a live-action version of The Little Mermaid. What do you think, Mark?
I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, it's Universal Studios that's doing it, not Disney. Now, the Disney version of Little Mermaid is way different than the Hans Christian Andersen version. Spoilers on the 150-year-old book. Basically, the whole premise is that the Little Mermaid and all the mer people, when they die, they just turn to sea foam. In the end, she has to make a decision between killing the person she loves or becoming sea foam. And it gets dark.
But do you think that Sofia Coppola, I mean, like, I guess her old stuff lost in translation. I feel like that stuff's darker, that stuff fits the vibe more. I mean, Marie Antoinette, somewhere, even the bling ring.
I mean,
like,
the thing is, I love Marie Antoinette. It was almost a middle finger to period pieces because you had her shooting on locations nobody's ever shot on before, and you barely see the location.
Yeah.
It's close-ups, and then in the background, there's the amazing gardens of France.
That's what I hated about it. Everything that she's doing lately has just been very surface.
Yeah.
Like the bling ring could have been dark. It could have been Spring Breakers. It could have taken that extra step. I feel like this movie, especially with Caroline Thompson writing it, she did Edward Scissorhands. She does a lot of stuff for Tim Burton. I feel like it will have the darker vibe, and we're going to go into it thinking that it's going to be this dark, seedy story of The Little Mermaid. Previously, Joe Wright was attached to direct it. He did The Atonement, Anna Karenina, Pride and Prejudice. And actually, he's doing Pan now, which seems like it's going to be a little bit of the same sort of
Darker.
taking in a darker spin. I'm not sure that if he might have been a better fit for this movie.
His worlds are always much bigger and
Right.
vast. Sophia pulls, like, she'll have these massive sets, but she keeps
just
it
one character.
pulled in and isolated, and so that feels like you're right there. And that's what I love about her.
That is actually the thing that I'm worried about with Sofia Coppola, is that she kind of makes these slice of life movies where it's very much character driven. You get a feel for the crisis of the individual as opposed to this expansive world. Little Mermaid is, I want to be out of the ocean on land, and you have, like, she's kind of saying there's this whole expansive world that I'm not a part of.
And Universal Studios is really good at crushing directors. Like, they are very good at taking exceptional directors and just smashing their vision on top of them. It's not going to be a Sofia Coppola film. It's going to be a Universal Pictures movie about a sea monster, basically, right? Because they do monster movies. And as long as all the pieces fit together and there's not too much fighting, just enough fighting, it'll be great. And as long as they stick to the original Hans Christian Andersen thing, which they'll be forced to. I mean, they're not going to be able to include Flounder or anybody like that are Disney-created characters.
What do you think of the whole movement where we're seeing a lot of darker live-action fairy tales? You got Maleficent, Snow White and the Huntsman.
I mean, as a fan of literature, much more over film, I'm excited because these original stories were dark. They were messed up. Like, Little Mermaid was not the same story.
Do you think eventually we're gonna, like, oversaturate, like maybe we're kind of doing with superhero movies? It's like another superhero movie's coming out. And
Are we oversaturating with the superhero movies? That's the question. It doesn't seem that way. It's gonna peter out. So everybody's trying to guess what the next big thing is, and it's either video game movies, darker fairy tales, or something we haven't seen yet, like fungus zombies.
Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Sofia Coppola directing a Little Mermaid adaptation. Yes, no, maybe, I don't care. Do you think it's going to be good? Is it something that you want to see, or do you think it's going to ruin the classic Disney version?
I say the Disney version ruins itself.
Come back next time for more of Cinefix Now movie news. That's stupid.
Gotta project.